2 weeks ago, I did a video trying to tell you that something is happening in Europe. And that one thing is becoming so much of a big quagmire in the entire Europe. Understand that people are complaining about the heat waves and how it's affecting the daily lives of everyone. What is even worse is that the numbers that are rising of people getting affected by these heat waves is getting so much big. But on the other side, black people are looking at this. Of course, heat wave is heat wave, whether to a black person or whether to a white person. But the difference comes when we have people that are well endowed with melanin. And melanin is responsible for the protection of the UV light, and that makes black people having an upper hand. Although all of us will feel the heat, but the body of a black person will absorb the heat and the body will become much darker. And this will act as a resistant method to prevent you from getting the ultraviolet rays, which will further on cause what is called melanoma. Now, brothers and sisters, I don't know if you remember what Jen Elliott once said. This was a video that she talked about so many years ago when she was trying to say that there will be a time that will come when white people will understand, all white people will ask themselves, why did not get melanin, or why did they integrate with black people to get this melanin? And that also, in that line, she went ahead and tried to explain why we are so much having interracial relationships, and why the world, and why even it's even healthy to have interracial relationships to the beneficial of white people, because they want to keep the race running. Why am I saying so? There is a way that this melanoma is capable of, and we are seeing so many people losing their lives out of this. So as a way to protect yourself, people saw, and it was healthy, that people have interracial marriages. So this makes sense when we say that indeed, this is something that is going on, and it is something serious. So brothers and sisters, I want us to watch this video, and then I'm gonna be back. I'll be sharing my thoughts in regards to this. And if you're watching me for the first time, you know I'm your host and presenter, Generic Stories. So get into it. I'll be back.
So real fast, I wanted to remind y'all that the sun and the sky that we use every day just now murdered 1,000 white people in France. We need them same white people that went to the moon to take a trip over there to the sun and handle this shit. Start passing out some warrants, some goddamn APBs. Wakanda forever. Yo, I know I made a lot of jokes about people in France and in Europe dying a lot lately. You know what I mean? And nobody dying is funny. You know what I'm saying? And just to help you guys out down there in Europe and France, scientists have proven that the best way to block out the sun and keep your natural skin without, dehydrating and shit like that, scientists said a lot of Europeans are starting to wear gorilla uniforms. Yeah, you gotta wear, you can't just wear regular monkey uniforms. They gotta be the gorilla shits, the real furry. But when they sweat, the sweat inside the suit turns into water. So it's a straw added into the uniform. So a lot of they got gorilla uniforms for sale at like costume party places. Normally you would go shopping for Halloween and shit like that. So, a lot of white folk, man, if you having problems and the sunblock and shit ain't working, try the gorilla uniform. That shit work.
Breaking news coming out of France. France records 1,000 excess deaths due to this heat wave that's taking place in France right now. And first of all, I want to say rest in peace to the French people and the French families that have been impacted by this, because a lot of the communities that are impacted by this heat wave in France are the elderly community and the vulnerable communities. All right. Now, the heat wave in France began on June 20th, and now it's only the 28th. And we have already seen 1,000 people have been unalived. But my question is, and it's not even meant to be a sarcastic question, where is all of the money that France should be using to resolve this issue, right? Because in the past, I believe 20 years, France has had 34 heat waves, right? Where is all of the money going, right? Why is $10 billion of French money going to Ukraine? Why is $64 billion of French money going to defense. Who does France have to defend itself from? The boogeyman? Like, these governments, especially France and also UK, right? UK right now is abysmal, but these governments have to take money from this defense spending, right? France just allocated $4.2 billion to military space defense. Who the fuck are y'all trying to fight? King? Who are y'all out there trying to fight? Silver Surfer? MF Doom? I don't know what's wrong with these countries, but they got to get it together, right? Including my own country, including the USA. But $4.2 billion for military space defense? You just out there trying to fight asteroids when your own people on the ground are dying? 1,000 people is a big number. That's not a small number. That's not like, oh, somebody died because it was so hot. That's not like, oh, 2 people passed away because it was so hot. And a lot of these people are dying inside their homes, right? Which means, why doesn't France take a couple of $1 billion, right? $1 or $2 billion and invest in ACs, invest in central air? Yes, I know. It's because they say that in the wintertime it gets really cold, all right? So the way that the houses in Europe are designed is to keep all of the heat inside the house. But that doesn't stop the problem of the 2 months of summer where the heat is kept inside the house and people are dying. 1,000 people in 4 days, 8 days. This is a problem. Fix the problem, France. Macron, if you ever get to see this, Brigitte, if you ever get to see this, tell your husband, all right, y'all need to invest in ACs in France. Because 1,000 people dead over a heat wave inside their house is 1,000 people too many. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Drop your best air-conditioned sticker in the comment section. But this has to stop, all right? All of this money being wasted on military defense when you're not even defending yourself against nobody, right? That's like me spending $1 billion on an anti-bullying combat class, and I live in a neighborhood by myself. That's like me spending billions of dollars on learning how to fight, but I live in the city where I'm the only population. So France, get it together. It is 6:49 p.m. June 28, 2026. Follow me for more updates, breaking news, think pieces, and beyond. This is ridiculous.
Hey, listen to me, bro. Hey, France over there, they unaliving at a high rate because of the fucking heat radiation. And if your ass not meant to be here, bro, your ass gonna have to deal with the same shit too, bro. That heat a motherfucker, bro. If your skin can't take that shit, bro, you done. Your ass better get that sunscreen, nigga. You better hope that shit save your life. Cause, hey, boy, the rate that this shit going, bro, you niggas got another thing coming, bro. Y'all better look at this shit right here, bro. Man, go look into what I'm talking about, bro. I just ain't talking, fam. If your ass not meant to be here, bro, you're done, bro. The planet is cleansing itself, bro. Y'all think this shit happening just for no reason? You gotta be a fucking idiot if you think like that. The time is now, bro. If your ass not meant to be here, bro, you're done. And that's on me. If you can't handle the smoke, if you can't handle the heat,
every time. It's like clockwork. Every time something goes wrong in Europe, somehow, it's our fault. Oh my god. So, Europe's in the middle of this record-breaking heat wave, the worst since 2003, which killed 15,000 people in France alone. And now France is dealing with over 1,000, I think it was 1,300 excess deaths since June 21st of this month in this latest heat wave. And who does the deputy mayor of Paris blame? Yours truly. Specifically, and I'm not making this up, she went on social media and wrote, and I quote, "Dear American journalists and social media influencers, for days, some of you have been criticizing and making fun of Paris because the city does not have AC in every room. OMG, this is so rich." Yeah, it is. She then said America, as the second largest greenhouse gas emitter, bears significant responsibility for what France, poor France, is experiencing right now. So she's blaming us, not the fact that only 25% of French households have AC, because their government spent decades telling people it was environmentally harmful. Or Germany's decision to shut down all their nuclear plants, reliable, low-carbon energy, which spiked electricity prices, increased dependence on coal and gas, and left the whole European grid less resilient exactly when it needs to handle heat surges like this. Or the European Green Deal and Fit for 55 policies that pushed aggressive renewable targets while energy prices went through the roof. So you had high carbon taxes, renewable subsidies passed straight to consumers, grid upgrade costs, all of it making electricity in Europe some of the most expensive in the developed world. Or the fact that European buildings, especially older French ones, were literally never designed for extreme heat. And then green policy priorities went toward insulation and passive cooling, not mechanical cooling, which sounds great until it's 140 degrees outside and your grandma is dying. But of course, it's our fault because we have AC like modern people should in the 21st century. Europe spent more than 2 decades positioning itself as a global leader on climate and clean energy, while making it impossible for their own citizens to stay cool when the summers got hot, which is what happens in the summer. And now the morgues are full, which is no laughing matter. And the deputy mayor of Paris is on social media lecturing American TikTokers rather than, I don't know, maybe lobbying to backtrack some of these
Truly powerful. Over 1,000 people dead in France by heat within 72 hours, and they're not talking about this. Isn't that questionable? I'm telling you already, get used to this fucking sun. Go in at the sun and start regulate your body temperature. You see, those who get that joke, go find some nicotine and start smoke that shit. It's gonna destroy that. Take care of the fucking self. Question everything. The earth has changed people. Going on nature. If you're not vibrating on nature frequency, you can't go survive in this new earth. I'm telling you that over and over. And I'm lucky to go and follow low vibrational people. I'm the divine and so are you. As always, big energy, king energy, fuck the system.
Breaking news coming out of France. France records 1,000 excess deaths due to this heat wave that's taking place in France right now. And first of all, I want to say rest in peace to the French people and the French families that have been impacted by this, because a lot of the communities that are impacted by this heat wave in France are the elderly community and the vulnerable communities. All right. Now, the heat wave in France began on June 20th, and now it's only the 28th. And we have already seen 1,000 people have been unalived. But my question is, and it's not even meant to be a sarcastic question, where is all of the money that France should be using to resolve this issue, right? Because in the past, I believe 20 years, France has had 34 heat waves, right? Where is all of the money going, right? Why is $10 billion of French money going to Ukraine? Why is $64 billion of French money going to defense? Who does France have to defend itself from? The boogeyman? Like, these governments, especially France and also UK, right? UK right now is abysmal, but these governments have to take money from this defense spending, right? France just allocated $4.2 billion to military space defense. Who the fuck are y'all trying to fight? King? Who are y'all out there trying to fight? Silver Surfer? MF Doom? I don't know what's wrong with these countries, but they got to get it together, right? Including my own country, including the USA. But $4.2 billion for military space defense? You just out there trying to fight asteroids when your own people on the ground are dying? 1,000 people is a big number. That's not a small number. That's not like, oh, somebody died because it was so hot. That's not like, oh, 2 people passed away because it was so hot. And a lot of these people are dying inside their homes, right? Which means, why doesn't France take a couple of $1 billion, right? $1 or $2 billion and invest in ACs, invest in central air? Yes, I know. It's because they say that in the wintertime it gets really cold, all right? So the way that the houses in Europe are designed is to keep all of the heat inside the house. But that doesn't stop the problem of the 2 months of summer where the heat is kept inside the house and people are dying. 1,000 people in 4 days, 8 days. This is a problem. Fix the problem, France. Macron, if you ever get to see this, Brigitte, if you ever get to see this, tell your husband, all right, y'all need to invest in ACs in France. Because 1,000 people dead over a heat wave inside their house is 1,000 people too many. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Drop your best air-conditioned sticker in the comment section. But this has to stop, all right? All of this money being wasted on military defense when you're not even defending yourself against nobody, right? That's like me spending $1 billion on an anti-bullying combat class, and I live in a neighborhood by myself. That's like me spending billions of dollars on learning how to fight, but I live in a city where I'm the only population. France, get it together. It is 6:49 p.m. June 28, 2026. Follow me for more updates, breaking news, think pieces, and beyond.
Hey, so I just read reports that in France, kids are dying in cars because of the heat. And so, you all need to shut the fuck up. What the fuck is wrong with you people? Like, the mirror is there. Look at the mirror. The biggest thing that you don't realize is at least Americans, for the most part, see a mirror. What is reflected in what you're seeing of Americans isn't really what most people think and see. And you know what we don't do? Leave babies in cars when it's hot out. So fuck you. Okay, it's worse. I just double checked my facts. 4 toddlers have died in cars, and they've had 55 drownings because of heat. And it's only 95 degrees. Shut up.
It's over there frying eggs on cars, and 1,000 people then died in 72 hours. Well, it's been several reports in the past few days that 1,000 people have died due to the heat wave that they have had in France. And they also said 40 people have drowned. Now, I know you like, what you mean 40 people have drowned? They said it has been so hot that people have been just jumping in ponds, pools, the local lagoons. And they said in the past 72 hours, they said over 1,000 deaths have been reported in France, and they all have been due to excessive heat or heat overheating. Apparently something is going on with the AC system in France. I don't know if they boycott. I don't know what's going on, but apparently nobody has AC. You can see people that's got foil and stuff all on their windows. I'm talking about even the high class people. And again, people jumping in pools, whatever pool of water they can find. You see people just drenching water on themselves while they walking down the street. But a lot of people ain't really talking about it. So I just wanted to let y'all know, the melanated people, yeah, y'all still need to be wearing some sunscreen when you're going out, because the sun is sunny. But y'all tell me what y'all think. My God, today, make sure y'all protecting y'allself out there, because the South right now is supposed to be heated this week.
In the UK, I want to talk to y'all about this heat wave going through Europe. In particular, this is for my Americans, just to add a little bit of context. So we've seen that France has had over 73 deaths due to this heat wave. Spain has had over 200. So right now, Europe is seeing a record number of deaths and record temperatures due to this heat wave. So there's a heat advisory in Italy, Spain, France, and here in the UK. So in France in particular, y'all, let me explain something, because I know it's hard when people are from certain countries, and this is not just an American thing, this is just in general, for them to be able to realize that other countries have different seasons, different weather. It's a little different. In Europe, summertime, generally speaking, they used to a couple of weeks of heat. When I say a couple of weeks of heat, we probably talking 70 degrees, maybe up to 80s, right? And then right after that, it goes back to the 60s. Okay, like today, been kind of a little bit chilly all day today because of the breeze. And like right now, it's at the 9 p.m., 60 some degrees. It feels great. Okay, but that's what they're used to. Yes, they have HVAC companies. Yes, they have access to portable air conditioning units. Yes, they have fans, right? But these homes built pre-1800s, they're not set up for HVAC systems, right? But that still doesn't mean someone can get a portable air conditioning unit. But keep in mind, with these record temperatures, everyone is needing a portable air conditioning unit and a fan at the same time. That's not to say they didn't have fans before, but with the record number temperature, you might need some more. Guys, they're sold out. They're sold out. I was checking for portable air conditioner online, multiple sites, sold out. Went in the store, sold out. As a matter of fact, the only fan they had left was the neck fan. So who's to say that they're not experiencing that same thing, maybe in France and Spain? I don't know. But also, these countries do not have the infrastructure for this heat wave. What do I mean? In France in particular, even though they only had 73 deaths that's been reported so far, 68,000 homes lost power due to this heat wave. 845 middle and junior schools had to close due to this heat wave. Over 1,600 other schools had to reschedule their classes due to this heat wave, guys. They don't have the infrastructure for this. Okay? But yes, people can go buy fans if they're available. Yes, people can go buy a portable air conditioning unit if it's available, as long as they got the funds. So hopefully
Everyone was laughing about Britain struggling during this heat wave. Well, I don't think many people are laughing anymore, because while we're talking about schools closing and trains struggling, France has linked this heat wave to over 1,000 excess deaths. 1,000. That's not a statistic you expect to hear about just another heat wave. That's the reality of what happens when temperatures get this extreme. And this is why I said this heat wave is not just another summer. Our schools are closing, hospitals are under pressure, infrastructure is struggling, emergency services are issuing warnings. We're seeing the same thing, just on a smaller scale. The difference is that countries like France are deeper into it than we are. So when people, mainly Americans, keep brushing this off and laughing at us, saying it's just a little bit of sunshine, look at what's actually happening across Europe, because this isn't fear-mongering, this isn't exaggeration, this is what extreme heat can do. And if we keep treating every heat wave like it's just a one-off event, then we're going to keep being caught completely unprepared when the next one arrives, and people are gonna keep dying. This is not funny and this is not normal. It's dangerous and it's scary.
So nobody gonna talk about over 1,000 people died in France in 3 days because of that. Like, I think that's some very essential information to be spread throughout all media broadcasts, no? Like, bad. 1,000 people, fool, dropped dead because of heat exhaustion. Because of that. And we not even at the hottest point of the year. My nigga, we is in June. We still got July and August, bruh. So I've come to the realization they're not going to speak about it, bruh, because it's going to show the power difference naturally, bro. And I'm not here to divide anybody. For me, it's just right here to judge. Judgment here. I'm telling you that now. So, wake up, American Indians. Blacks.
Breaking fucking news. Okay, so apparently over the last few days, there was a calculated total tally of 1,000 plus deaths over in France due to heat waves. Now, after looking at news reports, it was stated that the temperatures were up to like 104 degrees. Now, I know y'all probably thinking like, a quick summer day in Arizona. I mean, I get you. Like, go down to Laredo. You know what I mean? Like, I get you. I feel you, right? But initially, I thought that I was wondering what the degrees was when I saw comments and other posts, and I thought that they were passing out like this from 87-degree weather. So 104, I'll take it. No problem. No problem. Okay. Apparently, over there in France, they don't have AC units. Okay. They don't use the AC. And this is a big one, they are letting them swim in the rivers. And according to, other people, France uses their rivers as their sewage. So yeah, they will be swimming in sewage this summer in order to avoid heat.
Hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great from wherever you're watching this video from. Again, I'm your host and presenter Genetic Stories. Now, as I said earlier, what people are envisioning right now, or what is happening right now, it's something that is so much scary. Something that is making people think some type of way. Something that is making people feel some type of way. With different people having different perspectives. Some view this biologically. Some view this spiritually. I'm going to tackle both ways. Now, I'm going to be talking about black people. Black people are reflecting back to what happened during history. And this is so much painful. This is so much sad when you get to look at like really what happened. What really happened to black people is the treatment of black people during slavery, and slavery wasn't well. Majority of the times black people basked in the sun. Not that they were basking because they are in the oceans. They basked in the in the sun, because they were on the plantations. They were planting teas, they were planting tobacco, they were planting sugarcane, cotton, and all these things. So most of the time they spent on the sun. And the treatment of black people in the sun really is something that is so much difficult. Now, there are two perspectives of black history that I'm going to, bring into this. The first one, black people are so much resilient. Put them under any temperatures, black people will come out, and black people will show you that whatever you try to do cannot affect them. Now, the first person was a black person. Understand, as time goes by, the climatic conditions changes, everything changes. So when climatic conditions changes, everything changes. The body goes what we call a mutation. And when you get to look at the history of white people mutated. Initially, we had black people, but due to the migration, they had to mutate to to take the body that favors the climatic nature of Europe. Now, as time goes by, we are still seeing climatic changes that are happening. For example, the heat waves that we are seeing so much. And if you understand biology, you know very well that heat waves with some types of skin doesn't get along very well. Now, let me take you back to black people. Black Americans, they are very much endowed with melanin. It's a pigment. It is something that is so much important to any human body. Understand, every human being has a melanin, but the difference is melanin concentration. The first people were black people. So before some people went and mutated, it means that they reduced the level of melanin. One of the moral lessons that I would like to offer, because I'm tackling the biological part of all this is to my melanated people who are watching this video, and I think it's so much important for me to try to address this. I'm calling upon every melanated person who is watching this video. If you have a kid, probably I'm talking about girls, women that like bleaching their skin. I don't know how you view I don't know how you view what is beauty to you, or I don't know why you're trying to seek approval. But let me tell you something. The moment that you learn that what you have, and that is melanin, it's the most important thing. The moment that you learn that someone will kill to have the melanin that you have, the moment that you learn you are holding something which is more precious than gold, you'll understand that you own something that money cannot buy. Brothers and sisters, I'm speaking to a black lady. I'm speaking to a black man. I'm speaking to a black person. I'm speaking to a melanated person who is planning to scrap off their melanin, who is planning to remove their skin. I'm asking you to kindly see what is happening in Europe. You'll appreciate what you have. You'll understand that what you have is so much precious, and that will make you understand why, especially when you go to coastal places, you ain't gonna be seeing black people wearing all those sunscreens and everything. They just need the lotion and they're good. They'll be basking in the sun. What will happen is that you'll get much darker. But I don't think this will be the same with white people. Yes, probably you're gonna be seeing burns on their faces, and it's just natural, right? It's a natural response. So, brothers and sisters, the moral lesson or the moral thing that I wanted to leave you with is all this. Now, let me go to the spiritual part of this video. The spiritual part is, you see the interpretation of melanated people, of black people. Try to reflect on what really transpired during history. So when you get to look at black history, you get to see that black people were subjected to harsh conditions. And so there is a divine judgment that is going on in the US. And sometimes when divine judgment happens, or when the divine judgment occurs, it manifests itself through natural calamities. So perfect example is heat waves. Heat waves is a natural calamity. So some melanated people or some black people view this as a response to America being punished. A response to America being punished for the atrocities that it did to the people who are indigenous to the land, and that is black Americans. Right? So, brothers and sisters, I really don't know what you'll think about this video, but please let me know. Let me know what you think about this video. As you know, I'm your host and presenter Unique Stories, but until then, let me see you in my next video. Peace, love, and harmony.